my heart. Just when you think the tangled webs in the village can't get any more complex, an episode like this comes along and completely turns everything on its head. It was an emotional roller coaster from start to finish, a symphony of heartbreak, quiet sacrifice, and simmering feuds threatening to boil over. If you, like me, are still processing it all, let's break it down together. Because, honestly, we need to talk about what just happened. At the very center of it all, we have the raw, aching heart of a family tearing itself apart. And in the middle of that storm stands Sarah, a young woman forced to make a choice no one should ever have to make. For a while now, her dream of becoming a mother has been a fragile beacon of hope. But that hope has inadvertently become the wedge driving deeper between Mac and Charity. The tension has been suffocating, a thick, unspoken cloud in every room they share. And last night, Sarah decided she couldn't bear it anymore. In a scene that was both incredibly mature and utterly heartbreaking, Sarah made a promise. With a strength that belied her own pain, she looked at the two people she loves, saw the chasm growing between them, and chose to put her own lifelong dream aside. She promised to find another way to be a mom. Let that sink in. She's not giving up on her dream entirely, but she's sacrificing the path she had envisioned, the one that was right there, all to preserve a semblance of peace in her fractured family. She was adamant, resolute in her decision that her personal journey shouldn't be the reason Mac and Charity's relationship crumbles to dust. It was a moment of profound selflessness, a gut-wrenching sacrifice that left me speechless. You could see the weight of the world on her shoulders, the silent tears she was holding back for the sake of everyone else. How does a family heal from a wound that deep, even when it's self-inflicted out of love? Meanwhile, the source of that family fracture, the Mac and Charity show, continued its tragic tour. After the intense moment with Sarah, you'd think it might trigger a breakthrough. They took the next step and decided to tell Noah. Picture the scene, the two of them, a supposed united front, sitting down with a young man who has already been through so much. The air must have been electric with unspoken anxieties. As they laid out the situation, Noah, bless him, struggled to process it all. You could almost see the cogs turning and the walls going up. He's a smart kid. He sees through the facade. And this latest chapter in his mom's chaotic life was clearly a bitter pill to swallow. What followed was perhaps the most painful part of the entire episode. Mac, looking truly broken, apologized to Charity. And in a rare moment of vulnerability, she apologized right back. For a split second, a tiny flicker of hope ignited. Could this be it? Could they finally see how much they were hurting each other and everyone around them? But then it was extinguished. Charity, while sorry for the pain, remained absolutely resolute in her intention. That one word, resolute, says everything. She isn't backing down from her path, whatever that may be. Her apology was for the fallout, not for the decision that caused it. And for Mac, that was the final nail in the coffin of their truce. He simply couldn't bury the feud. The apology, meant to heal, only served to highlight the unbridgeable gap between them. They are standing on opposite sides of a canyon, whispering apologies that are carried away by the wind, leaving them more alone than ever. As if that emotional tornado wasn't enough, we pivoted to another classic village power play. Over at Home Farm, the queen of schemes, Kim, was making her move. Her target? Annie's field. We all know that in this village, land is never just land. It's power, it's legacy, it's a statement. But she made a critical error. She let her guard down. Her opponent, the ever-astute Robert, sniffed out her desperation. There's a certain look people get when they're desperate, a frantic energy behind the eyes, and Robert saw it plain as day on Kim. He knew he had the upper hand. In a moment of deliciously cold power, he flat-out refused to sign over the field. The look on Kim's face was a perfect picture of fury and frustration. She had been so close, only to be thwarted by Robert's perception. You have to hand it to him. He played it perfectly. This isn't just about a field anymore. It's a declaration of war. Kim has been outmaneuvered, and if we know anything about her, it's that she does not take defeat lying down. The battle for Annie's Field is just getting started, and it's gonna be glorious to watch. And then there are the tantalizing threads left dangling, leaving us desperate for more. First, Kane. The episode synopsis simply said, Kane is in turmoil. And that's exactly what we saw. It wasn't a loud, explosive turmoil, but a quiet internal storm. He was brooding, wrestling with demons we can only guess at. Is this about his past catching up with him? Is it something to do with Moira? Or is a new, devastating secret about to come to light? That man's soul is a landscape of shadows and secrets, and watching him in such a state of inner conflict sends a shiver down your spine. Something big is coming for Kane, and it feels ominous. And finally, just as the credits were about to roll, we were given one last morsel of mystery. John reaches out. Who is John? Is it a name from the past, a ghost returning to haunt one of our residents? Or is it a new player entering the game, ready to stir up fresh chaos? The simplicity of that statement is what makes it so powerful. It's a whisper that promises a shout, a small spark that could ignite a whole new inferno in the village. So where does this leave us? With a young woman's heartbreaking sacrifice, a central couple more broken than ever, a power struggle heating up, a beloved character in silent agony, and a mysterious new name on the horizon. It was an hour of television that reminded us why we're so invested in these lives. It was emotional, tense, and has set the stage for so much more drama to come. I, for one, will be counting the minutes until the next episode. What are your theories? I'd love to hear them.